Welcome to the Big Mo Pod Show with producer Noah. My name's John Heim, a.k.a. Big Mo, and I run a blues broadcast that's aired, or I guess allowed, by KCCK 88.3 in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City through Kirkwood Community College. I've been running a blues broadcast for the last over 20 years now, and taught in public schools in the state of Iowa for 25 years, and I've been a musician, and a few other things to give me some creds, but that's not really important. I just want you to know what my credentials are. But it's a very special day today for the podcast. We normally would have a review of music that I played last night, but today we got a special guest in the Singing Cowboy Studios. It's Merrill J. Miller. Merrill Miller is here with Noah and I today, and just to talk a little bit, and to talk about music, and to talk about stuff. And of course, here in the Singing Cowboy Studios, it's pretty relaxed, so we've been talking quite a bit for the last half hour. So it's been nice to see Merrill again. And Merrill, it's good to have you. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's good to be together again. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you've been playing around. I've been seeing you around. You're kind of getting going, and I see you playing around. What's your current musical status here?
Well, I get out when I can, you know. I've still got a 12-year-old, got a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 5-year-old, all girls. And
gosh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the 16-year-old, I don't even see her no more. She's
gone.
Yeah, she's
now
self-contained.
And they all begin with M.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
My sister asked me not to do that. Please don't do that to those kids. Because me, her, and my brother, you know what our names
yeah, I know.
We were the 3 M's too. And
yeah. Well, it's good to see you out and about playing with, now you're playing with Troy and...
yeah, I use Troy on bass with an act called Shaky Feet. And then I also play with Dan DJ Johnson, another consummate bass player.
Absolutely. One of the best.
And then various drummers when we want to do power trio or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah.
When we find a 3-piece gig. I prefer the 4, you know. Mm-hmm. I can do solo still, but I try to avoid it. It's like, yeah, I make too many mistakes. No, I need somebody to help me hide them.
Ain't that the truth? It's, you know, that's what I did too, is you have to play by yourself sometimes just to clean up your act.
Right.
Just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be.
Right.
And it takes a lot of time and trouble to go back and do all that.
Yeah, especially when you've done so much work with your, 2, 3, 4-piece stuff. Yeah. It's like, it's harder to go back. And
well, when did you get to be such a good guitar player?
Well, I don't know. When I do, I'll let you know.
Ba-dum-bum.
But yeah, now, I don't know. It just kind of came along, started with the harp.
Yeah.
And blowing blues harp. And then guitar came along not too long after,
I kind of remember all that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think the first 3 chords I taught myself were on a guitar that you owned, as a matter of fact.
It's a guitar I wish I still had.
Yeah.
It was an ES-125T.
Yes.
TCB, which meant it was thin, it had a cutaway and a Bigsby. Well, what we're talking about is a practice room at Marion High School down at the far west end of the world at Marion High School, way down there, and by Mr. Perkins' math room, and the practice rooms shared a wall with the math room.
Yeah.
And boy, Perkins, he never said anything, but he'd give me a look every once in a while if it got real loud in there, which it did from time to time. I had a little Princeton, I think. Well, I think that was part of it, just, probably having a guitar around for you. And
it was definitely the impetus of it.
It was the start of it.
As soon as I graduated, I took $200 out of my graduation money and bought me a little Alvarez. Played that all the way through first couple professional years till the frets were gone, completely off of it. And then I found another one in a pawn shop, just in better condition. I played that one. So Alvarez and Yari have been big for acoustics for me. Still play a Yari.
Well, then did you start playing electric then? Right.
Yeah. I guess I was on acoustic for a good couple years.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And then I, through the Bryce and Billy Lee Janey Corporation, I acquired this. It's either a late 50s or early 60s Stratotone, Silvertone Stratotone. I don't know if you know what those are, but they're really close to the Jimmy Page countertop guitar. What's the stuff you call that stuff?
Masonite.
Yeah.
Masonite.
It's almost Masonite or something like that.
You got the Masonitis.
Indeed. But yeah, that was a good, I did all my learning on that. There's a picture of me. I didn't put it down. There's a picture of me on the toilet, I think, playing it from about 30 years ago or so.
Yeah. And then just kept working on it. Huh?
Yeah, just kept it up. Did a lot of shows, mixed in with harmonica shows. And, of course, had Bryce and Merrill for, 7, 8 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. God,
you guys were good and a going concern.
We were doing 4 or 5 nights a week around and up and down the Highway 13 honky-tonk circuit,
Tell me about the Highway 13 honky-tonk circuit.
Oh, golly. Back in the day, you had, one in Coggin still, which they don't have one in there anymore.
Okay.
One in Central City, or right outside of there. Let's see, I'm trying to think. No, we played in Central City, I think. And then one in Ryan, on up, Manchester, Strawberry Point, Hopkinton. Every little juke joint with any kind of stage or at least just a corner where we could set up, we would play those. A lot of those were old school schedule too, from the Janie's days. Which,
Yeah. You guys were working.
But yeah, Bryce and I kept good and busy for a good 6, 7 years, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I started hanging out with this big guy named Jake Wasek. And we did just a Jake and Merrill. Instead of Bryce and Merrill, it was Jake and Merrill. But I'll tell you, that guy taught me a lot about handling an acoustic. Until that point, you were my only formal musical training, besides 3rd and 4th grade tee-tee-ta stuff, So I learned a lot on the acoustic, and that helped me out, going into a solo, doing some solo stuff here and there. That's something I could always carry with me. Did that for a good while, and then got the electric back out and started fronting stuff. Which, I've always been a singer, so I just consider it more accompanying myself, more so than being a guitarist. I'm not a guitarist.
Now, when you sing and play the guitar at the same time, do you think more about your guitar or do you think more about your singing?
I think more about my singing. I don't know. We were just talking a little bit before we started about best thing that ever happened to me was when I quit caring about, all my leads and the shortcomings, thereof. But as far as rhythm playing, you do enough of it and keep after it, and you put the work in, and you're pretty much doing what it does and what it's supposed to be doing,
Coming up with little riffs.
Right? Horrible. I'm a horrible teacher. I can't put into words, what I'm after. But I remember my dad bringing an organist out to Checkers when Bryce and I were kind of regulars out there. The organist, who was one of the greatest organists I've ever heard to this day, her name was Josephine Zahai. And boy, she could pull out the stops, man.
Oh, you got to play with Joe.
She put that organ to work, But anyway, she came out with my dad to see Bryce and I play. We take a break. Hi, Dad. Hi, Joe. She says, you guys play the kind of stuff that they can't put on paper. The kind of music you guys play, you can't write it down. And I thought that was one of the greatest compliments I've ever gotten. And still is, really.
Well, considering Joe Zahai.
Right, the source of that.
Considering the source, that was pretty high praise. She was, they were just integral in all the music activities and all the jazz. Right. When Louis Armstrong came to town, he didn't go to a hotel because there wasn't one that took black people. Wow. He stayed at Joe and Les Zahai's.
Really?
Yeah, and they had a whole stack of pictures of people who had stayed at their house. No because kidding. When they played Cedar Rapids, there wasn't a place to stay.
Wow. Think of it.
Yeah. That was in the 40s and 50s. And she was still active in the 70s and 80s when we knew her.
Totally.
Yeah, I knew her too.
And still could play.
She and I did Duke Ellington one Sunday. We did Come Sunday. And that was just one of the highlights of my life. She was on the organ and just...
boy, what a treat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is.
Well, hey, we're drifting off into La La Land. How about, I want to know about Alaska. I want to know about playing music in Alaska.
Well, that was pretty much next in line anyway, so.
Good.
Thanks for snapping me out of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I went
off on a trip somewhere, but then my son moved to Alaska.
Yeah.
And my wife eventually, about a year later, after seeing him once a year for, over 2 years, we decided to move up there. She graduated from Iowa and got a job up there, and I said, I'm going to pick guitar when I get up there, I guess. Yeah. And so started into that, got a solo gig that wouldn't trade it for the world, but it cost me a lot of other gigs because it was a house gig that started every Saturday night, and about a couple weeks into it, they said, hey, you want to do every Friday and Saturday night? I says, yeah, so... that went on for 2 years, working every Friday and Saturday, 4 hours a night, just in a corner. Yeah. Made a lot of good friends, though, and met a lot of people that, I might not have become acquainted with up there, and they were good friends and good to us, It's kind of like stranger in a strange land, when you move up there. There's certain things that still culture shocked me at that age. How old was I? Like 30, 35 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, did the solo thing up there, and then met a bass player who was still is a great friend of mine. He's moved to Hawaii now, from Alaska, but it was duo at least from then on, for another 4, 5, 6 years probably up there. And at certain times we'd find a drummer. There's not too many drummers up there, and getting fewer, I think. So yeah, there was 2 and 3 piece. And then maybe back to some solo when he moved back, or moved away to Hawaii a couple years before we moved back here, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, you had to be up there 10, 15 years, was it?
13.
13.
Yeah.
So I was close.
Yep, 13 years up there.
That's what it felt like. I missed you.
Yeah, man.
I did.
Yeah, man.
I wish I could say different, but when you were gone, it was like, I hope Merrill's doing all right.
Oh,
and I'm glad to hear you were.
Oh, yeah, you know me.
I know. The working in Alaska hold any special surprises as far as crowds or crowd control or?
No, not really.
No big stories.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with having to use crowd control, actually.
Well, I was just kind of, by crowd control, I mean getting the crowd wrapped around your finger and work, And,
definitely.
And being in the moment.
I pulled out all kinds of tricks, that I heard from Dennis McMurrin and Billy Lee Cheney, and even some of their stunts, the bar towel over the strings and playing dueling banjos, lean forward on the acoustic and it's a guitar, and lean back and it's a banjo, Got that from Dennis. Watched him do that before. Got a lot of mileage out of that. But, that type of stuff, it's just stuff you remember and it comes to you during the show.
Mostly out of necessity because you're starting to need something.
Right. You don't know nobody out there.
No,
so.
you just tried to get some attention and jack some, find somebody's monkey dinner.
Right. You don't get that automatic unconditional love, like we did at Hope. So, that's a good point you make, though. That's something maybe I didn't know I learned up there, but it definitely got some development up there,
Now, did you hang a harmonica around your neck, or
I've never really done that.
I've never seen you do it, and I've always been kind of surprised, but I understand. I mean, I'm going to let you talk about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of like when you're first learning how to play the guitar and sing, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
But I never got out of that with it. Every time I try it, it's just like, we'll try that again next time. It's one of them things.
Yeah, no, I understand completely. It just doesn't work for you. So why bother? But, it's just generally custom that's what guitar players, harmonica players, singers do. And, well, the Kevin Burt model.
Well, yeah, there's a great example, and I can think of other people too.
I never
Dave
heard
Moore.
Dave Moore. Yeah.
You know who he is, right?
Yeah. He listens to the show too.
Grew up right out here on Mount Vernon Road, And I've been friends with him for a long time. And you want to talk about your harp and guitar and finger style and singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the man on that. Just got to see him a couple weeks ago. I was down to that bar in West Branch there mainly to see Dave, because I haven't seen him in so long. But he opened up for a cat from Strawberry Point named Tom Jessen is his name. Sorry, it took me a second to recall that. I was thinking about something else, but yeah. Anyway.
Or leave it in.
Yeah, I was down to see Tommy Jessen. Tommy Jessen. I'm sorry for talking over you, but Tommy Jessen and Dave were playing together, and I thought, wow, okay, well, I know those guys at least. I walk in the door and I see Jimmy Viner, fine drummer in his own right, and sound man down there. And he wasn't even working, but I got a big hug from him and got to meet Tom Jessen. I'd never met him before, but I got his first record, Tom Jessen Dime Store Outfit, Redemption it was called. You should check that out, right, man.
I will.
It's kind of a vast section of music. There's jazz in there, there's blues in there, there's country in there, there's pop in there. And golly, I'll be dead. I think I just about got that CD wore out. But yeah, Dave Moore's such a great guy. Yeah. Golly.
Yeah. Well, and you play at O'Malley's every once in a while.
Yeah. Yep.
With Tommy T-Bone Giblin and your rhythm crew.
That's always a treat. Yeah. And that's the act we call Shaky Feet. We've done a few gigs outside of O'Malley's too with that lineup. Everybody really has a good time, you know. Yeah. We play together well, listen to each other and stuff. But it doesn't get old because I never play the same song the same way. Good. Two different gigs in a row.
I'm proud. I'm glad I taught you something.
That and Johnny One Note.
Yeah. Here I was supposed to be interested in Mozart, and I was more interested in Muddy Waters and Merrill Miller.
That sounds familiar, actually. Yeah.
Well, Merrill, it's just been really good to have you along today.
Well, thank you.
And to just be able to casually visit to a recording machine. I haven't given Noah a chance. Noah, do you have anything you want to talk about?
You know, there was one thing I was kind of curious about.
Sure.
Because you mentioned how you started with the harp and then moved to the guitar. How did that transition happen?
Bryce Janey's quote is, "Into every harp player's life, some guitar must come." And, when you check it out, man.
Yeah.
Charlie Musselwhite, guitar.
Absolutely.
Little Walter, guitar. You know.
Kevin Bird has good stories about that, too, about Lonnie going, play guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it has been good, and it's been good to see you this go round. It's been about 6 weeks, so it's good to catch up. It's good to find out. I wanted to know about Alaska, and I wanted to know about all this stuff. So I really appreciate you coming in and being part of the show and trying to provide some content for KCCK and for us. And just talk about the music and talk about the blues and talk about the music scene in beautiful, scenic, historic Marion, Iowa. So
yeah, the little hamlet.
The
French Quarter of Cedar Rapids.
Well, we're definitely Marionites.
And cultural epicenter of the Midwest. That's what I call it. That's my spiel anyway.
You're sticking to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So good to have you, buddy.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. Always good to see you.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
All righty.
Thanks,
you bet.
guys.
Thanks a lot. Bye.